Good morning, friends. Hello, it's Tanj here, peak performance specialist for real estate and property professionals. I hope you're having a beautiful Friday. We are live for Rapid Fire Friday with a big cup of tea. G'day, Zook. Zuka Real Estate joined. G'day, Zuka Real Estate. Where are you tuning in from? Good morning, Paula Beavis. Great to have you here, my love. Calm Star, Kate Ashton. My friends on Facebook, I can't see your names yet, but Greg, I'm assuming you're going to be there. Hello, my friend. So rapt that your friend has booked you a private coaching session with me for your birthday, and we get to do it face-to-face in Adelaide later in November. How awesome is that? Now, Mentone, g'day, Mentone, awesome. Thanks for joining. All right, I'm going to get stuck straight into it. If I'm coughing and spluttering and using a bit of this, I woke up sick this morning. I get sick maybe twice a year, so this is that time. So bear with me as I sound a little like a drag queen and may make some, cold effects, sound effects. So what is Rapid Fire Friday? If this is the first time you've tuned in, good morning, Brooklyn. Great to have you here. Do me a favor, actually. Let me know what is one word to describe where you're at today here. Happy Thursday. Oh, 702 Weiss King of Nevada. Are you tuning in from Nevada? Wow, with flowers. Thank you. That's lovely of you. One word to describe how you're feeling. G'day, Maddie. Great to have you here. Just type it in. I'm really curious. How am I feeling? Look, other than sick, really purposeful, actually. You know how glamorous this is? I don't have tissues in the house because I don't get sick. This is tissues. Glamorous, I know. I like to keep it real. I feel purposeful. I've been working behind the scenes to get everything in place to take our business to the next level. So I'm feeling purposeful. That's how I am. I'm keen to know, how are you? Yes, Vegas born, come visit. Well, there are plans to come to the States for work next year, my friend. So it's highly likely. So thank you for tuning in. Pumped. Calmstar is pumped. What else, my friends? Good to hear, Calmstar. Thanks for being here. My friends on Facebook, please write in how you are feeling. I cannot see your comments yet. I don't know why that is, but it is. So we'll just live with it. All right, let's get stuck straight into it. What is Rapid Fire Friday? Well, as a peak performance coach, I spend Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays each and every week, pardon me, doing one-on-one coaching sessions for my clients, typically executive directors of real estate franchises or brands, principals or directors of offices, and then leading agents. And I know that many people, hey, Brendan, great to see you here. Hi, Amy, thanks for tuning in. I know many people don't have the funds to invest in a one-on-one coach. So I just want to reflect on what were the key themes of coaching for this week, for as many as I can share in the time that we have, and what were my rapid fire tips to help you. Hey, Brendan, congrats on getting that treadmill, I think it was, or was it an exercise bike? I couldn't tell. Hey, Botham, Greg, I don't know how to say that. Bothamy Gray, Joe Marie. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Okay. And here were some of the themes. The first one I want to share is, or ask you, is your ego affecting your economic growth? Hi, thanks. Is your ego affecting your economic growth? And are you consumed by your competition? So this theme came out of a one-on-one coaching session, a double whammy. It's Amy. Oh, hey, Amy. Thanks for tuning in, hun. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't recognize your handle. Thanks, honey, for being here. And so we had a 2-hour session yesterday with a principal and 2 of his key staff. And, good on him. He came to me and said, I think we need to change our mindset. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm really consumed by the competition. They've got 2 doors down, an agent that has 6 assistants and is really dominating one of the suburbs that he used to dominate in. And so who cares, right? What does that mean? Well, what that actually really means is he's been going into the listings. He's number 1 agent in one of the 3 to 4 suburbs that he looks after. But this other suburb that is the second highest performing suburb in the area and the areas that he services, there's another agent that dominates, and it's kind of taken over. So as a result, what's happened is he's now going into listings wondering when she's going in, And if the vendor mentions that she's going in, he gets all internally, he doesn't really show it, but he gets in a bit of a fluster and he gets pissed off, right? Because he wants to beat her. And he lost a couple of listings. And I said to him, where's your focus? And he said, Jim, my focus is on beating her. I said, so that's who shows up in the lounge rooms for vendors. That's who's dealing with buyers. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I said, well, cut it out. Here's my humble opinion. If you're in Australia, the average income that a person earns is $79,000 a year. The average combined income is $101,000 a year. And there's been 17,000 agents leave the Australian real estate industry since 2017. I think that's a good thing because too many of them thought it was going to be a fast way to make a quick, good buck, get the shiny car, the fancy suit, the sexy watch, and the cool hairdo, and get on $1 Million Agent. And that's just not reality. Here is the deal. When you are knocking on the doors of real people with real lives, you have no idea what's behind that door. These are people that's parents are either in their granny flat or a spare room out the back, and why are you sorry, my love? They're out the back in palliative care. They're, about to have triplets and they need to upsize. They're separating. Someone's sick. When we are focused on our competition, our focus is on us and who's beating us or who we have to beat. And I can tell you as a vendor, I don't want you knocking on my door asking permission to sell my biggest asset and help me transition into the next phase of my life. You don't deserve my gig. You don't deserve my listing. And that's kind of what I said to my beloved client. He's been with me for 3 years. His business is going kaboom. He's on track to make 1.5 with only 2 assistants. His competition's not actually, he's making more profit. So I don't know what his trip is, but it's our ego. And so he gets it too. G'day, Emily. Great to have you here. Is this making sense? By the way, if you're watching this live, type in live. If you're watching the record, do me a favor and type in record. So I said, you need to shift your focus back on the client and make like Gandhi and Mother Teresa. And as I've said before, lose yourself in service of them. And he, he got it and the team got it. Thanks, ladies. And so then he said, okay, well, I've got a vendor who I need to go and see after this coaching session who's renovating the house, getting ready for the listing. It's a competitive listing, but I'm concerned. I said, what's the concern? She said to me, look, yeah, just come in and have a look around, and I'm going to be painting and I'm still going to be painting, but we have a chat. And he goes, how do I do a listing when she's painting? I said, well, how do you think you do a listing when she's painting? And this goes now to a second distinction I want to share in Rapid Fire Friday, which is agents need to subtly take control of the conversation. You really need not to dominate or be aggressive, but consider it is your job to elicit the values of the vendor, reverse engineer your dialogue to meet what's important to them, and build rapport firstly, right? And then share with them why real estate, why you do what you do. So he's like, I'm concerned. I can't do a listing presentation. I call them consultations while she's on a ladder painting. He goes, what do you recommend? Hey, oh, Emily, you've introduced Zuz. Oh, what is your actual name? Because I'm not saying it right. And he goes, what would you do? And I said, simple, mate. I would be driving to her place after this coaching session. Her name was Karen. I would say, hey, Karen, how's the painting going? And she'd say, however it's going. And I'd say, hey, I'm about to pick up a coffee. What's your favorite flavor? I would acknowledge she's painting. I would pick up a coffee and a morning tea. And I would say, you've done a stellar job on this place. My team member, I won't say their names, but my team members told me how much work you've been putting into this. She already has buyers lined up to take a look. This is true. I thought you needed a break. Let's take a seat and let's talk about it. And he goes, yeah, but what if she doesn't listen and keeps painting? I said, you've got to be strong enough to say, listen, Karen, clearly you're on a timeline and you got to get this house ready for sale. However, if I can be really straight with you, selling your home is an important deal and I don't want to miss any details. I really only want 20 minutes or half an hour of time together where we're not distracted doing anything else, because this is one of the most important decisions you'll make in your life. And I reckon 20 minutes is we're going to be able to get what we need clear and you can get back into painting or you like. So it's really important. Don't be an agent who's more addicted to being liked than leading the conversation. Okay, so it's that was my coaching. Anyway, I said to him, let me know how you go. He had another 2 listings last night. I got a text this morning going, nailed it. I ended up I guided the conversation. She put the paintbrush down. We ended up speaking for an hour together, and I got the listing on the spot. And he had lost the last 2 listings, because his ego was getting in the ways of his economic growth, because he was consumed by his competition 2 doors down, and we shifted his focus back on getting deeply interested. We also refined his listing consultation scripts and dialogues to the 6 most important questions I believe an agent should make. And remember, I'm not a real estate agent coach. I'm a vendor first, always. I mean, I'm not a real estate agent full time. I'm a vendor that had bad experiences 4.5 years ago, and I'm always standing in the vendor's shoes when I coach. So guide the conversation, and please don't be afraid to gently control where the conversation's going, because it's an important thing, and we need to be present when we talk about this. And I think what happens then is when you're that straight to vendors, thanks, Joe. Thank you, Amy. Zuzka, have I said that right? What an awesome name. What nationality are you? When we're straight with vendors, they can feel it. And I promise you, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So when you're speaking with a vendor, if you're present, if you're focused, if you're over there with them, they, like me, when I choose agents, they're going to see that perhaps that's how you're going to be with the buyers and the people that are going to take the money out of their pocket and give it to you to buy their asset. Zuzka, awesome. Where is that name from? I've never met a Zuzka. Great. Does that make sense? Let me know. What did you hear for yourself? Do you ever get distracted by your competition? Are you on realestate.com and, looking at all the portals, or Rate My Agent and assessing yourself? Check your energy today as you go about your business today in real estate. Are you tuned into your competition and trying to beat them? Or are you putting your blinkers on and focusing on the clients you need to serve? Oh, nice. Great. It's check, polish. Beautiful. Okay, let me know. Did you dig that little distinction? All right, here's the other thing. I'm really big on ideal weeks, but I was doing a coaching session. I did a number of them this week, but one of the ones that I was doing, I said, look, we were talking about ideal week, and I said an ideal week is about intention. It's being intentional with your time. It's putting your time inside an intention. What do you want to achieve for this week? And I said, it's an intentional week. And I was just like, well, that's what I'm going to call them from now on. Because I reckon ideal weeks make it too ideal. Like it's hard to achieve. It's like ideal, one day, someday, grand plan. But an intentional week is, where is your time, energy, and focus going to go this week? And then show up and deliver what you put down in your intentional week template. Emily, paying attention to the competition means you are not concentrating on the client. That's what I got. Shigo, you can leave at the door. Yeah, well said, Emily. It's really true, right? Listen, like, you are human. We are always going to be interested in looking at whoever we're competing with, right? There's plenty of food for everyone, but we're always going to be looking at who's got more followers on Instagram and who's getting more influence and reach and scope and who's growing more and who's getting more business. And like, that's just a normal thing in humans. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It just is what it is. But doesn't work. It doesn't serve us. The best thing we can do is just acknowledge that it's happening and go, oh, I've got to reset, shift my focus to who I'm here to serve. And I promise you, vendors will feel it. He lost the last 2 listings and he landed this one. I need to check out the other 2 that he went for last night. So, hey, Helen, great to have you here, my friend. Okay, I'm sorry that I can't see all of you on Facebook. I don't know why this does this. So, but I feel that you're there. So thanks. Please keep writing in your comments. Okay, now my next thing. So forget ideal week, call it an intentional week. I'm really big on semantics. I think words influence our relationship with an activity. They kind of can alter the way we create our beliefs. So if I have an ideal week, it might feel unattainable. If I have an intentional week, it's telling me where I intend to spend my time and do the work that matters. So just a little tip there. Now I have a great client who is currently number 2 in his area in Perth, which is a really tough market. It's had a bit of a hit over the last 3 years. He plays in a really premium sort of level, so he has listings that can be between 5 to 20 million. However, the average turnover of properties in his or the average price of properties in his area is around 1.5. And here's the result. We've been doing a lot of coaching around him holding his agents accountable and helping them achieve their goals. Good news is, when we checked in yesterday, his 2 agents are on track. They've hit their quarterly targets and they're doing it consistently. That makes me so happy. The downside is, it means the principal has done a good job to lead the people, but because he's got these higher end listings, pardon me, $20 million, whatever, their average days on market go from 90, the typical average days on market in his business are 90. His are like 180. What this means for him is he's $200,000 down in his individual performance for the first quarter. Now, in the scheme of things, over the year, it doesn't matter, because when he sells that 20 million, he's going to make $350,000, right? There it is. However, I said to him, mate, I want you to have some insurance. I want you to make sure that you really are still servicing those premium properties, but you've got to go out there and ensure that you're still prospecting for where the turnover is. It's essentially 10 sales down. So we just realigned his focus, and he said, well, what I can do regarding volume is get the listings and keep feeding it to the guys. And is that a good decision? And I said, well, you've got to decide what's more important to you, to have more gross profit in the business for you, or to get the volume, get the momentum, get the marketing, get the exposure, get the retention, get the referrals, and give your agents an opportunity to service clients. And he said, yeah, that's more important to me because I want to free up my time. So please make sure when you're making decisions that you're clear on the end goal, you're clear on the outcome. Hey, Emily, I know you've posted something here. Paying attention to the competition means you are not, oh, we've already read that. So I thought it was a new comment. So he really got that he needs to shift his focus, get some insurance, get those leads, feed it to the team. It'll be less profit for him, but he still has more time to spend, in selling those homes and managing clients' expectations and doing price adjustments. So that was really good to see, but awesome to see that his 2 agents are bang on track, hitting their targets for the quarter. Now, so that's my comment around go fishing where the fish are. Too many people don't understand where the sales are happening in their business. So we're fishing in ponds that don't have much activity. And going back to my first client I was talking about, the principal that was focused on the competition, there's 4 key suburbs that he looks after. The suburb that his competition is nailing has 2,000 properties. And the suburb that has the highest turnover, where he dominates and is number 1, it has 12,000. Now, when you're fishing, i.e. prospecting, you don't just randomly drop your line everywhere. Assess the market, understand where the revenue is coming from or the sales are coming from, and make sure you're dropping your line in where the fish are, and there'll be a ripple effect. Where's the next level of the pond? Where's the next level of the pond? Don't be random, be strategic. That's how you can make the most money in the least amount of time. And finally, I'll also say that one of my clients had more of a personal coaching session with me this week. They were sharing their challenges of being in a relationship with a partner that's below the line, meaning they're being a victim, they're feeling an effect of life, they are blaming, they are disempowered, and my client's very above the line, very growth orientated, willing to learn, at cause in the matter, always taking responsibility. So what do you do when you're in a marriage, when one of you is above the line, always in what's possible, and the other one's below the line and feeling in the impacts and depressed and affected by the world? First of all, I obviously have compassion for where that person is because they're having their own experience. So compassion is key. However, the impacts for my client are they're walking around on eggshells, they're not speaking their truth, they're compromising their own values, they're not having much fun, they're not necessarily happy, and they're dimming their light and they're dropping their standards. I don't believe in dropping your standards to meet people where they are. Keep holding your standards high and you can encourage them to rise, but at least have compassion, A, and then B, you got to have some courageous conversations. You got to let people know how their energy, their choice is impacting the relationship. And you got to let them know what you're committed to, but also draw some lines in the sand. Because if you don't, you end up colluding with people and you keep them in the paradigm of being below the line. Does this make sense, by the way? Do you feel me? Is this making sense? And, I think it's a really important thing, because we stay in relationships because we think we should, and sometimes they can be really hard. So if you are in a relationship where you're above the line and your partner's below the line, have compassion. Encourage them to get what they need, have courageous conversations, and don't blame them for how you feel. Say, when you do this, I feel this. I make up a story of this, and I believe that, if nothing changes, the inevitable future is going to look like this. And I don't want that. And I want to work with you, but I don't know how much longer I can be in a relationship in this way. Hey, Steph, great to have you here. So that's that was my coaching for this person, and they got exactly what they need and went home, and I need to follow up, but we're planning on having courageous conversation. Look forward to our chat this morning, Steph. Having courageous conversations. There is something about being able to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. This thing called life can be tricky. It can be challenging terrain when we're doing our best and we're vulnerable and we're trying to figure things out, and we give things a go and we stuff up, and we got to pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and keep going. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to people please. Stop trying to make it right with people, and just be honest and be vulnerable and be straight. Because occurs when you're not willing to be responsible for what's there for you and vulnerable enough to speak your truth. So, questions: is your ego affecting your economic growth, and are you consumed by your competition? Reset on your client and lose yourself in service of solving problems for them and adding benefits to them. Forget ideal week, reframe it to intentional week. Be intentional with your time and reverse engineer your allocation of your hours to hit the big and little goals for yourself for the week. Go fishing where the fish are. Stop being random. Analyze the market and deep dive into where the activity is happening. And agents, take control of the conversation subtly by being present and keeping your vendor very present also by your energy, your questions, your answers, and your service. That's my Rapid Fire Friday tips for this week. I hope you found it useful. Which one was the one that stood out for you? And more importantly, what are you going to do differently as a result? What action are you going to take from what you heard today? I'm curious and would love to know. So please know that Monday, Mindset Mastery Monday, is on, of course, next Monday, where I answer questions that people write in to help them elevate their real estate of mind and go from being stuck and oscillating to free and happy and fulfilled, both personally and professionally. If you have a question, write into me, because I would love to answer it and help you. Hey, Lloyd, we are wrapping up, my friend, but you can watch the record. Thanks for tuning in. Amy got thanks. Take control of the conversation. Yeah, and it's about, don't be afraid to be straight and go, hey, I believe what we're talking about is pretty important here. This is about you choosing someone to partner the sale of your biggest asset. It's a big deal. So let's put the paintbrush down. Let's have a cup of coffee and let's connect. Oh my, so many people are tuning in. G'day, Marcus. How are you? Have you been surfing, my friend? Kelly, great to have you here. Emily's also written here. Take control of the conversation. So much sense. Thanks, Tanj. Fish in the right pond. Absolutely. Hey, Joe, great to have you here. So I hope that was of service. You're welcome, Joe. Intentional week. Yes, for sure. So I'm going to wrap up, but please, if there is anything that you are navigating that you need support with, I'm here for you. Don't do it on your own, and don't procrastinate, and don't waste time, because life is now, and everything I do is about enabling you to reach your full potential here and now on earth now. Now, not tomorrow, not next week, but like breakthrough arena, okay? So reach out, DM me, write a comment. I love that you chose to spend your time with me. I don't take that for granted. I really am grateful for you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you got some value. Share this with a friend. Leaders, share this with your teams. We're finding more and more leaders are writing to us to say that they take this content into their sales meetings, which is awesome. So have a beautiful weekend. Be of service to people. Speak with your heart open tomorrow at all your open for inspections. And as I said, reach out if you need some support. As always, I end with the words of the late, great Maya Angelou. Remember, people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Go make yourself and others today feel really important, really worthwhile, and like they matter, because you do. I love you. Have a beautiful day. See you soon. Bye. Who have we got? Let me see. Our new friend from Nevada, Zuka. Is it Zuka? God, that's a great name. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you on Monday. Ciao. See you to our friends on Facebook. Have a beautiful day.